Okay, this is tape 3. This is a self-contained brush truck or booster truck skid unit mounted on a heavy-duty frame. This thing is ready to go. You put this on a Ford 450 or a Ford 550, Chevrolet 350 or a Chevrolet 350 Super Duty. Got a plane going over me, so stand by. Alright, to start with, let me give you the dimensions on this. First of all, it measures 90 inches long, which is right at 7.5 feet, and is 48 inches wide, or 4 feet, and stands 5 feet tall from the bottom of the frame to the top of the foam tank. The tank itself is a heavy-duty polycarbonate tank with thick walls. It is mounted to the main frame and held in place with metal straps. Let me walk around this unit here and describe what some of the features on it. This is the top view of it. We have here some chrome handrails on each side. It has a 15-gallon foam tank that you can fill up with either the AFFF foam or wet water for grass fires. Again, the tank is a heavy-duty polycarbonate. On the back end right here, or facing the cab, it has a lip with holes in it that you can mount a light bar across the tank if you want to, instead of putting it on the cab of the truck. Let's go to the back here. The main frame right here for the skid unit is heavy duty metal, with a 1.5 inch distance sticking out right here and anchoring plates right here to mount onto your truck. This gap right here is designed for if you're putting it on a flatbed or into a pickup truck type bed. You have this clearance right here that you can run a pipe across the back of the tank and build rails around the truck for your crew. So you've got this bit of a gap right here for piping to go across. Alright, coming around to the side of the truck, side view. Notice you have your foam tank up here, and it does have a hose line coming down going to your piping for your pump. The hose reel is electric. It's a Hanna hose reel, electric hose reel. It is equipped with 150 feet of 1-inch fire hose, booster line fire hose. We got a gas tank right here. We have a quick disconnect right here, and that's for if you need to work on your pump. Then you undo your quick disconnect, the 4 bolts holding the hose reel in place, and you can remove it, take the weight off it, and then move the bottom frame off the main frame to work on your pumps. Real simple to do. There's 4 bolts on your main frame, on your 4 corners, here and here, and on the other side. Remove those, and this top piece comes off, and you can get right into the pump area. Okay, looking into the right side, looking from the back of the truck, looking off to your right side, this is the view of your pump housing. As you can see down on the ground here, you have 2 hose lines. They are 3/4 inch hoses with 3/4 inch fog nozzles. They are 11 foot long each, and they are connected to your piping, and it has a valve right here and individual valves on each of your hose lines as well. The pump itself is a Hale pump, model FZZ. It's an 8 horsepower rated with 250 gallon per minute pump on it at 100 psi's. It does have the electric start with the electric start motor, as well as the capability on your flywheel here to use a rope on it to start it manually should the power failure or the starter motor goes out on the electric starter. Down here you have some fuses, inline fuses. All the wiring to your pump is all down here ready to go. You've got some lines for your running lights, power for your lights over your pump, so on. And then you've got over here a negative and a positive connection right here that hooks up to your battery up front of your truck. It's fused together, and this is mainly for your starter motor, because the starter motor requires a heavier gauge wire. Okay, looking underneath the pump area right here, the housing, you have over here your filter for your gas going to your pump with a backup spare filter right there. The pump itself is real easy to get to should you need to do work on it. You have back here a valve and a hose. You can see here it goes up to the tank. That's a tank refill valve, which is also a circulation valve. So if you're not pumping any water, you can circulate the water back to the tank and keep the pump from overheating, causing cavitation and losing your prime. Okay, let's walk around to the back of the pump area here. Again, we have 150 feet of booster line with a polycarbonate fog nozzle that comes with it, your rollers, and your push button for your electric rewind. The back of the truck has 4 of the yellow running lights that are already wired up, so all you got to do is hook it up to your truck's lighting system, and you have your running lights back there. Mounted on your frame on both sides, you can see 2 halogen lights. They are alternating. They are pre-connected already, and the wiring's in place, and they are set up on a flasher system. On your controls up here, you got a choke, a amp gauge, a kill switch, and a pump start. You got your filter here, your exhaust muffler here, and the exhaust muffler also has a valve up on the top that uses a priming device, which is common on these type of pumps, for priming your pump and getting the air out of your pump. And in the back here, your pump housing, there is a valve right there that once you get your prime, you shut it off. The piping on this, first coming off your discharge out of your pump, you've got a gauge for you. It's up on the pressure side, discharge side. Your piping for this, you have 3 main discharges. You have 2.5 inch right here is one of them, fire thread with a valve. And in the back here you have another 1.5 inch with a valve that goes to 100 feet of 1.5 inch pre-connected fire hose with an 1.5 inch polycarbonate fog nozzle. Hose is held in place by a quick disconnect seat belt. The other discharge you have right here is also 1.5 inch, but it's got the quick disconnect and a valve. And the quick disconnect you can use to supply line into another tanker or truck with a quick disconnect. Also, there's a coupling that goes with this that converts this 1.5 inch up to 2.5 inch fire threads that you can use a 2.5 hose on it on a discharge side, and it comes with a 2.5 fog nozzle. And the hose for that is down here. You have 50 feet of 2.5 fire hose. It doubles either as a regular 2.5 fire hose line with the fog nozzle that you can connect up here, or it can be used to fill your truck off of a hydrant. The intake, you have 2.5 female thread here. It's got a 2.5 cap on it, so you can run your hose from your fire hydrant into your piping here, which has a valve which goes into your tank or into your pump to fill your tank back up if you're using or filling off of a hydrant or another truck. The yellow piping here is your foam. As I told you earlier, there's a hose that comes down from the hose tank at the top. Comes down in here. You have a valve, a metering valve, that you can control how much foam is going into your pump. Either a large amount or a small amount, depends on how thick you want your foam. And it goes like this and then over into your pump. Alright, coming back and out of here, there are a couple switches here. This switch is for your pump lights. There's two pump lights mounted up underneath the pump housing. There's one on each side. And then you have an auxiliary switch right here that's you can connect something else to if you want. It's already has the hot wire in place. Alright, backing off back here for an overview. You have the little just shield right here, so the exhaust coming out of your muffler comes up and it just kind of absorbs the heat from that. Alright, coming around to the other side here. If you look in here, you can see it's in a cage. You have your 100 feet of pre-connected engine shaft with a seatbelt going up to your valve. So you can pull up a scene of whatever call you have, and you can immediately deploy this 100 feet and you're ready to attack the fire. Alright, looking in here, basically again at the top, this line here is your refill line. This blue hose is going up to your hose reel, and this pipe coming off here going to 1.5 inches. You have your tank piping here coming out and then going into the suction side of the pump. Back here is the valve for your primer. On the side right here is a clear polycarbonate window, and it shows your water level, and it has a light on the other side that illuminates at nighttime, that lights up so you can easily see what your tank water level is. Again, this holds 407 gallons of water. This metal plate right here also doubles as a step so that you can get on top of the tank should you need to. And then right here on top of the platform is a diamond plate that you can stand on, and you got some traction should you need to get up on top of the tank. Over here you've got a spanner wrench holder. It also holds a hydrant wrench here in the middle and a secondary or a second spanner wrench, which it doesn't show the other two, but I have those to go with it. You have your knob right here to lock your hose reel. Looking at your tank right here, it has your hatch. Inside your hatch is a metering stick that you drop down into the tank, and then you can see what the water level is. Your foam tank, which is pre-piped. Here we have a short 15 feet of 1.5 inches. It does have the piping on it right here that you use, and you just drop this down into the tank. You can see that. And the way it's designed is so that under high pressure that thing doesn't come out of your tank and go all over the place. Again, you've got another metal chrome plated handrail. And let me just back off right here and see if you can see the whole skid unit. All right. Again, we're walking around the side right here. A quick overview. And there you have it.